Ayala. I'm working in the Institute of Health Carlos III. I'm going to talk about sexism among adolescents in different European cities, based on results of the Life for Violence project. The concept of ambivalent sexism was proposed by Glick and Fisk. It's a multidimensional construct with two sets of sexist attitudes, benevolent and hostile. Benevolent is defined as sexist attitudes towards women from the point of view of gender stereotypes and restricted roles, but that are subjectively positive in feeling tone. And hostile are attitudes of prejudice or discriminatory behavior based on the inferiority or difference of women as a group. The study of sexism in adolescents is important to promote healthy dating relationships. The knowledge of factors associated with sexism will help to know which measures are necessary to reduce the sexist behaviors in adolescents. For these reasons, the objective of this study was to identify the variables associated with sexism measured through the ambivalent sexism inventory. The sample is part of the Life for Violence project. 1,555 students filled an online questionnaire in secondary schools from 6 different European cities. The percentage of girls was 59% and the mean age of 14 years. The scale used in this study was the ambivalent sexism inventory. The scale has 22 items and 2 subscales, benevolent and hostile, both with 11 items. The 6 response categories go from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The range of the scores on the scale is from 0 to 110 points. Greater levels of the scale indicate higher levels of sexism. First, we calculate the mean values of total scale and subscales. It's okay? We calculate the mean values of total scale and subscales by different characteristics: demographics, socioeconomics, and variables related to violence. The differences were analyzed with t-test analysis of variance. In order to analyze the variables associated to sexism, we performed 3 linear regression models with 3 outcomes: ambivalent or total scale, benevolent, and hostile. The covariates were country, sex, age, mother studies, dating violence experiences, bullying and cyberbullying behavior, student social support, aggressiveness, assertiveness, and social problem solving. Now, I'll show you the results of the study. In this graph on the left, we see the levels of sexism, from lower to higher. The graphic presents the mean values of total scale by intervention and control group. No difference by group were found in total scale and subscales. Okay. Also, boys present higher levels of sexism than girls. in total scale, as well as benevolent and hostile. However, the difference increases in hostile subscale. This graphic presents the mean values by age. We observe higher values after 13 years. This pattern is similar in benevolent and hostile scale. Sorry. Okay. Related to mother studies, we observe higher values in students whose mothers have completed secondary school in total scale and benevolent subscale. No difference were found in hostile subscales. Students who have never been in a dating relationships show lower levels of sexism, and higher levels were found in students who have dating violence experiences as control, fear, physical, or sexual. Doing bullying and cyberbullying behavior against someone increase the levels of sexism in total scale and hostile subscale. No difference were found in benevolent subscale. Okay. Adolescents who suffered physical abuse in childhood present higher levels of hostile sexism. This difference were not significant in total scale and benevolent scale. Now, this graphic presents the variables associated to total scale. We observe that boys have higher levels than girls. Students whose mothers have university education present lower levels of sexism than primary and lower studies. Adolescents who had dating violence experiences have higher levels than students who have never been in a dating relationship. The plot of the bottom presents the scales associated to ambivalent sexism. Higher values of total scale were associated to higher social support, aggressiveness, assertiveness, and lower ability to solve problems. Okay. In the same way as total scale, higher levels of benevolent sexism were associated to being a boy, having a dating violence experiences, higher social support, aggressiveness, assertiveness, and lower levels of benevolent were related to having a mother with university education and higher levels of ability to solve problems. These are the variables associated to hostile scale. The only difference with previous scales were the student social support was not associated to hostile scale. In conclusion, having a mother with university education is related to lower sexism among adolescents. It's necessary to reduce the levels of benevolent and hostile sexism, especially in boys. Interventions for the prevention of dating violence experiences are needed. Strategies to improve problem-solving ability can help to reduce the levels of sexism in adolescents. Yeah, and thank you for listening.